This one is gonna go by quickly, and it may be a bit messy. Sunvet Mall is a dead mall through and through, and I ended up catching it in its final days. Corridors are roped off, and less than a few tenants remain. This is a classic small mall on Long Island, New York that you are never gonna see again. Although a number of others are now caring about this mall, there isn't a lot of information available on this place, and despite combing through newspapers, I was unable to determine an opening date. But using some guesstimations, I was able to determine that this mall opened up in the early 70s, with newspaper mentions starting around 1973. If you lived here locally and know if the mall was open earlier than that, do chime in. I am completely in the dark on this place. You know what? Rather than try to piece together what all went on, I think I'll just stick to my experiences here for this video. On this day in July, I covered two dead malls, this being the first and the Sunrise Mall being the next, which we have already covered. Sunvet Mall was confirmed for redevelopment sometime before my arrival, and leases were just allowed to run dry by that point, which probably explains why it was left open for much longer. And when I was there, the only inline stores were Aegean's Pizza and a liquidator store. And a liquor store, but I don't really care about that right now. Actually, now that I mention the tenants, there was a bank present, and I want to say one or two other businesses inside the mall, but the writing was on the wall by that point. This place was emptying out. Aegean's has been in the mall forever and was alleged to be one of the best pizza places on Long Island. And having gotten the opportunity to try them, I'm inclined to agree. Their garlic knot pizza was the bomb. They don't skimp on the cheese, they have a flavorful sauce, and they had plenty of herbs and garlic on it all. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Well, here's where I urinate all over that parade, and I get to tell you that they're now closed. You are never going to have that pizza. Disappointed? Well, so am I. I presume this was due to lease expiration, and the owner did have a good run, thus deciding to hang up the apron for good. I can't blame him, as 50 years of operation is a great run. But still, I wanted to come back for a pepperoni pie. Sunvet Mall itself looks like it never left the 80s. Sure, there were small updates here and there, like Toys R Us anchoring the mall at one point, alongside AC Moore as a junior anchor, and even Pathmark Grocery at the other. All of it now, it's gone. And in my limited sample size of one interaction, it sounds like this place will indeed be missed. Sure, it's dated, but it served a purpose, and it had a nostalgia factor for longtime residents. But I guess at some point, you have to say goodbye. Currently, the plans for this mall once it's finally closed is to demolish it and replace it with a strip mall and drive-through restaurants. You can call it a power center all you want, but it's still a strip mall. But I guess it would be better than a blighted lot. Now, at some point, I did hear from my dad, who grew up near the area, that the area around Sunvet Mall was a dangerous place to be. Now, before you start typing an angry, hate-filled message, I did fact check this, and it does reveal that Holbrook, New York it isn't that bad. And if it was, well, it's not anymore. Area Vibes gives the place a 73, which is a great score, and the crime stats, which do matter to me, are below the national average. In fact, the surrounding area is quite desirable, with the only major problem being the cost of living. So if money isn't an issue, Long Island might not be all that bad.
It's like a tomb in there.
I did say that this was going to be messy, and the sectioned off corridors inside certainly didn't help matters. I had to do something since this mall was still open to some degree. Now, I did want to show a look through one more mall entrance, but when reviewing the footage, I had to cut it out. Why? Because all I caught when looking through the window was the push bar on the door. Nobody wants to see that. So in all this, I still ended up doing an oopsie. A minor oopsie, but still. Nonetheless, I do hope you enjoyed this walk along the Sunvet Mall, as the sun will set upon it soon. If you had any memories about this place, do share in the comments below if you wish to. Thanks for having me, Hallbrook, New York. And until next time, this is Doomie Grunt wishing you, in the Sunvet Mall, farewell. If anybody knows how to make that garlic knot pizza, please message me. I want another slice.